You are welcome to the Premier Top 4 Podcast. If you are already on this channel, you know that we focus on Chelsea, Manchester United, and the others, and the others. Since they are not here, we're not giving them the accolade at all. So it's mostly Chelsea and Manchester United because, in Africa, that's the Real Madrid and Barcelona of Africa, and it has most of the fans and everything. So if you are a United fan, this sport is for you. We are focusing on Ruben Amorim's first match in charge of Manchester United. If you're a Chelsea fan, there's going to be a link, something that is popping up if you're on YouTube. If you are not on YouTube, just go to the page. There's a Chelsea one that we've done already for Chelsea. So you can just go there and listen to how Maresca also performed. So this one is just for Manchester United and Ruben Amorim. Okay, so for Ruben Amorim's first match against Ipswich Town, we are going to see how he approached the match, whether he has been shocked by the Premier League or not, or this is just a blip, or maybe something great is going to happen. So before I continue, I want my guest to introduce himself, and then we'll continue from there. So go
All
ahead.
right, all right. Thank you. My name is Michael. You all know me. We're not new. I'm not new to the podcast, and I'm a Manchester United fan. And we'll be looking at Amori's first game today, and let's see how it goes. At least this first result was not a defeat. There are some good signs, so let's get on it.
Okay. So my name is Chris. I'm the host of the podcast, and I'm a Chelsea fan. And as I said, if you're a Chelsea fan, don't worry yourself to listen to these United things. Just go ahead and click on the link that will be popping up right there and watch the Chelsea episode as well. Okay. So as we were talking about Manchester United, we are going to see the lineup that Ruben Amorim's first lineup in charge of Manchester United after some training sessions with the boys. So let's see. So he went for Onana as usual. And then in the back three, that's where some shocks were in. He went with Delap, and then he went with Mazraoui, and then Johnny Evans. We all thought Johnny Evans' career was over, but it looks like this guy keeps getting starting for United. Okay, and then we go to the midfield. That's a strange one there. Amad Diallo as the wing back on the right side, and Dallo as the wing back on the left side. We didn't expect that. We thought there was going to be the opposite or something like that. And then the midfield, he went for Casemiro and what? Ericsson. He ignored his guy, Ugarte. That's another shock there. And in the two tens, because he plays three back, so two tens, he went with Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes. And the striker, he went for Rashford. Even before we go into the match, when you saw the lineup, coach, what was your thought?
Well, clearly the coach is the one that has worked with the boys, and I probably would have gone for the same lineup if I were new to a club. If you clearly see around the formation, he has gone for experience than the strength and energy that everybody was expecting. Just like you said, that people were expecting Ugarte, maybe Ahmad on the left side, and all that stuff. So he has decided to go for experience, people that can translate, at least interpret his game than than the young guys that he thinks can change this. And also, if you look at the formation, he has gone for performance. So he has kept his formation, but he has gone with people that have proven themselves over time. If I were the one, maybe some tweaks too, like we all expected. Maybe Diallo on the left, Mazuari up, then maybe another defender, something. But clearly, these are still trial periods. What is most interesting is that he has kept to his formation, which he's used to, and it's now left for the players to blend. And for some reasons, the compactness was there, but the intensity wasn't. So the formation may have looked as a surprise, but I think it's fair. He has just gone for safety than actually full power.
Okay. So there's us another shock that I'm surprised he didn't mention. He ignored all your strikers and went for Rashford as the number nine. And let me just continue from there. 81 seconds into the match, Rashford's second touch. The first touch was that he passed the ball for them to begin the match. He ran straight into the opponent's post. Boom, there was a pass and he scored. Coach, take us to the goal. And once you take us to the goal, the second thing I'm going to ask is Rashford going to be his main striker? So these two questions, go ahead and answer them for us.
Okay, so personally, you let's go back to when you asked me about the lineup and you said it's good. You were surprised I skipped that. Uh, Personally, a lot of times I think that has been Rashford's some of the struggles with coaches and Rashford. Recently I noticed he's been losing pace. He's not as fast as he used to be 2 3 years ago, but I think he's not really had his confidence. And on that number 9, he has a lot to prove because because of Harry Kane, he has like almost been forced to even play the wing so that he'll be able to get a space in the England's team. But personally, I'm not to remove Rasmus Holland out of the equation. As of today, I would say Rashford would be the best in the attacking forward because he has all the qualities to be the top 9. And if we go back to his best seasons in the club, they were where he played as the central striker for the club. So fantastic um, um, formation for Rashford being the main man. Now for the goal, you know, it is the I will use the word the adrenaline that they've used to come to the game to try to show the coach what they are about. And it was I applaud the goal mainly to Ahmad's performance, even dodging the tackle, the sliding tackle that was attempted at him and making that square ball and easy touch for Rashford to just slot it in, no time to think about what to do and how to go about it. So fantastic goal it was, and kudos again to Ahmad, and he was on top of the game all through the game as well.
Okay, so for me, in my opinion, the goal was good. I'm just moving on from there. So, in my opinion, Ahmad is one of your best attackers. So why are you playing me in wing back? No, I'm not saying he didn't perform well. He did very well, like very well. But if I look at Ahmad's profile, and as a Chelsea fan who has seen three at the back several times, like as Chelsea fans, we know three at the back. And we know that if you want someone in the pocket as the inside 10 behind the striker, and on the right side with Ahmad, a left-footed player, he can come in, he can cut and score those, the goal that you guys conceded. He can score a similar goal. He's more or less like the perfect person for that position. And then you push him to the wing back. It's working. He's scoring. He's assisting. But I think you may be limiting him in terms of the output of the things that you can get from Ahmad. What do you think on that?
Okay, so I will tell you one interesting thing that has happened like throughout the international break. And this is because you gave me that assignment to talk about the formation of Amorim. Now, you are looking at the wing backs as the typical flank to flank wing backs, but with Amorim, the tens have a lot of work in supporting the flank because there's what we call the diamond formation. When they win the ball, unlike other teams, when we are playing full left back and right back, they invert into the midfield. But in this Amorim's formation, they invert into the final third. So what it means is that the position you are expecting Ahmad to take, he would eventually take that position going in so that Bruno goes to the flank. Clearly, the interpretation was not carried out by Bruno because a few times he almost reminds me of Boba. He was tilting to the left and he was clustering Garnacho and also made Garnacho confused. So that also impacted on Garnacho's game, which made Ahmad isolated on the right wing. But the good thing is that he had Casemiro to always cover, and Mazzarelli was playing high. So for every time where there was an attack, or then there's a diamond, a V-shaped counter press with Casemiro, Mazzarelli protecting, and Ahmad trying to cover. So with it looks like he is the right wing back, but he's not a full wing back because they are up the field. So when they are attacking, they are supposed to go inverted into where Bruno is on the formation, while Bruno is supposed to go outside and pull the cross. This is some of the approach that is the game is supposed to be. And it's clear with the first goal. You can see after beating the two players, he went into the inversion and played the pass. so that he doesn't go too close to Rashford. So Ahmad is doing his role, and clearly you can see that the confusion on the left wing was not successful because Dalot, Garnacho, and Bruno tilting there affected that mix there.
Okay, so if that is the role of the wing back, then I think you are asking a lot from Ahmad. That is a lot of work. Because I saw that in defense, he was there as the right back defending. And then in attack, he's more or less like the winger himself, coming inside and all. And that is a lot of work. And do you think Ahmad is up to the task, coach?
So let me tell you why it looked like a lot of work in today's game. For the vast majority, especially in the second half, um, Ipswich had the ball. Ipswich had the ball. You can even see that a lot of times, even Rashford was playing, trying to also build the block in front of the defense, in front of the 18 yard. Trying. So we were soaking pressure at that particular time of the game. And when we talk about Ahmad, we're talking about the mix today. Ahmad has energy. He's young. I'll use what he has a lot to prove for any coach and to the club. So he's putting his best. He's not acting like the star boy. So in defense, it looked like we might be asking a lot, but he is just playing his part as a player, box to box, trying to support the team. And the good thing, like I said, is today he had Mazarari protecting him. So he was playing his role as the right back in his position, but it wasn't as difficult as maybe you are making it because every time there was a cut in, Mazarari was always there to support him. And the two of them had an excellent game in that wing. If you notice, and if you see the problem, you see, we talk about the goal. The goal came from the other wing because, like I said, there was this cluster and the players have started, they were confused there. So there's an issue of who is going to mark, who is going to stay, because you have Ericsson just there, Dalot confused. Johnny Evans was the only one trying to go for the player who he was and he was beaten for that goal to come. So clearly for Ahmad, I think for today he has given a good account of himself, and I would say at least going into the next game he has secured his role, unlike the combination of Garnacho and Dalot, which will still be questionable in the going forward.
Okay, so then in going forward, how about a simple swap? Because wing backs are supposed to just go cross, because you are asking someone who is a left-footed player to defend on the right side, which is sometimes difficult. But if he gets a proper winger, the likes of all those like maybe Sancho and the likes who are very good, they might exploit that. Because I was thinking that even if he's going to go for that, maybe a swap of Dalo coming to this side and the reason why I'm spending much time on the wing back is that when it comes to the three back formation, wing backs are so vital. They are the heartbeat of the team. If they work well, the system works. Okay, every Chelsea fan knows what I'm saying. That's why we actually know this three back well. Everything dwells on the left and right wing backs because the two of them, if they go forward, you get numbers in attack. If they come back, you get numbers in defense. So if you were the coach, would you swap them so that the footed person comes on the right, the left footed person goes on the left, so that you have the balance there? What do you
I
think?
would not. I would not do that. I will only do that if clearly, like I've said, the pullout is expected from them. So let's talk about quality of pullouts. So the wing backs, like I said, your explanation is making it look like they are full wing backs. So right leg or left leg. The important thing is if you look at the midfield, apart from Ericsson, we've played Casemiro. So what Amorim usually does, like in Sporting, is you have two holding midfielders or defensive, or let's say central midfielders now. One is the sweeper, this way, goes left and right. While we have one, the box to box. Today, Ericsson was the box to box and Casemiro was the sweeper. So what has happened, like I told you, the diamond formation is if Ahmad is coming, his role, I won't use the word is defending, is just protecting the right back. He's protecting the right back. So it now falls to Mazoari, who originally can play right back, to support, to reduce the pressure. So you are thinking of Ahmad as a defender. Amorin is thinking of him as an offensive wing back. So like the days of Marcelo that you rarely see them on one-to-ones, but you hardly even see them on one-to-ones because they have possession of the ball. So if you have possession of the ball, we will think less of defense, and we will not be talking about the work Ahmad has done. But because we're under pressure and a few times they were attempting to come through that wing, he as a player was trying to prove that he has the energy to go end to end. And like I said today, he proved that very well. So let's remove the foot and think about his commitment, his efforts in the game, and trying to play his role irrespective of his foot. Also, if you think of the goal, the pass was from his right foot. So he might be a left footer, but he's at least he can do some work in his right leg. So it's not that bad.
Okay. Okay, so then let's go straight into the wonderful, scintillating goal from the Chelsea Academy player, Omari Hutchinson, the 20 million pound player we sold from our academy. That is why we are distributing all the players into all the leagues to cause damage for other teams. Chelsea is so ahead. So look, coach, can you talk us through the goal, how it happened?
Looking at the goal, it reminded me of Saka's goal from yesterday, but we're not talking Arsenal. So the truth is the quality of the strike, and not to also forget that the goal was also helped by a deflection that changed the direction a bit because Onana was looked like he was covering the angle, but that deflection took it above Onana. But clearly, first, good quality and poor marking. Before that goal, there was a shot on target, and it reminded me of the match, Ruud van Nistelrooy's last match. There seemed to be a confusion when players are attacking our post in front of the 18 yard. If you see, that is like has always been a big pocket. Even the goal that Chelsea scored, too, you see, it's that same pocket between the lines where it looks like we are flat. So immediately, Hutchinson had gone away from Evans to take that ball. You can see that there's no marking. And it's still the same thing I was talking about that position because it's supposed to be a two marking there with Dalot and Evans, just the way Mazarari was supporting Ahmad. It's supposed to be a two-way marking in that position. And there was also Ericsson not there to protect that edge of the box. So Hutchinson did his part, advanced beyond Evans, who couldn't tackle him. And, well, quality strike. You cannot take that away, and a good goal.
Okay, so after we've said all this, are you impressed with Ruben Amorim for his first 90 minutes in the league? Because it was Ipswich. He was supposed to win this one. Are you impressed?
So, clearly, if you listen to the commentary and everything, if there's anything I would say I appreciate Amorim for is he, like every other person expected, he did not bow to pressure to change the formation. For every time there was a substitution, the commentator says he's sticking to the formation. He's at some point we'll probably say, "Oh, well, maybe this is not working. Let's go to the 4-2-2, 4-4-2 or 4-3-3." He stuck to the formation even to the end, and his facial expression showed that something is wrong. If everything was okay, at least could after the game he's not there smiling with the players and say, "Oh, nice game," because clearly he can see that when you know what you want and you cannot see it. Even the goal celebration, as much as he was just coming to the game, to him was like, okay, let's see where we go from there. This might look like a fluke. This might look like, but at least, if anything to take away from the game, Rashford has shown that he can play that role, at least when he has the chance to score. Ahmad has proved himself. Bruno, I think, was just running around the pitch, though he put some effort, but he needs to understand and work with the coach's idea because you cannot come to the game and play your own idea. So, overall, first for Amorim, I would say I give him 60% because he has done his part. He has done his formation. He has selected his team. His substitutions were okay, but the remaining 40% is because where he can beat the players were not able to execute his initiative to the latter. Let's give you a typical
Okay.
example. Garnacho, we're talking about the running. Garnacho had a lot of times where he gave up. He runs and like, you can't do that. Rashford tried to show effort. Rashford that we know that doesn't run was running a lot today. But Garnacho was just flat. It was, and in terms of
Okay.
ratings by
So,
he has the
in terms of
game today.
Okay, coach. So so if you were Amorim with this system, let's say everyone is fit, everyone is in a good shape. Which first 11 are you going to go for?
Okay, so I would go from, well, Onana is the goalkeeper, so certainly. So I would keep Mattis Delete where he is, and if a Luxor is fit, he will play the left three back, because you remember there was a time when we were still in Champions League 2 seasons ago, with when Ten Hag played the three defense. Luxor proved that he was actually very good there, and he had the role to play in England. So it would be a Luxor, a Delete, and a Leniniero in three defense, because Euro is strong, he's young, he's fast, so he can play that bit. Then the role Ahmad played today in my top four, I will play Mazawari there, up there. I'll play Ugarte. Now, if there's fitness, it will be Ugarte Meno, because Meno is very good at advancing with the ball. And I'll probably keep Ahmad on the left-hand side, like you suggested. So there's a Mazawari, because he's shown like he can put the effort. And the good thing with the two of them is, if I'm the coach during the game, I can decide to tell them to switch. Clearly, Ahmad can play both sides. Mazawari can play both sides. Then in front of the four, I'll keep Bruno, but I'll keep Bruno on the left. I'll keep Bruno on the left and take Garnacho to the right. Or, well, if they were all fit, I don't know. Because of Garnacho's quality, we are tempted to want to keep him. He's our highest goal scorer this season. But the temptation is
You guys, it looks like United fans are forgetting someone who knows the three at the back formation so well in your team.
Maguire.
He is an expert.
Who is that?
No, in terms of the attack, Mason
No, no,
Mount.
no, no.
He won the Champions League in that
No,
position. The coach even talked about
no,
him
no, no, no.
as an inside pocket, number 10 behind the striker
Ma-
in the three back formation. This guy,
Mason has
he's
not
good.
found his form. Let's forget as a Chelsea player.
Yes, and
I
he
know
brought
you
you playing
want
the
Man
transformation.
U's for downfall. So Mason is not in the Mason has, like, if there's any player that needs double work, is Mason Mount. Mason Mount needs to So when the people, like when Ten Hag say he will bring the energy, no. I know what Mason was in Chelsea when he was in form. He is nowhere near
Yes, he
that.
was in a three back
He's no,
formation. That's what
he's
you have
nowhere.
now.
He has been in the midfield, whether in the 3-4-3 or whatever. He has been in the midfield. He has not shown anything. So it's not like he's the
He
defender.
has never played a
If he was
midfield
the
in Chelsea.
defender,
He was not an eight.
if he was the defender, let
You
me
guys
even tell
keep
you
forgetting. He
something.
was the attacker.
Yeah, he was not. Well, we don't need him as an attacker. We need him in the front. We need the front end. And like as at today, even with fitness, Mason Mount has not shown that he is the same player as he was in his prime in Chelsea. The same reason I don't know why ETH purchased that player in the first instance and wasted our number 7 jersey on him. So it's a mess. These are some of the messes that we need to correct in Manchester United. So
But it looks like Ruben Amorim loves him. Did you hear the comment on Mason Mount from
it's
Ruben?
training.
It looks like you
They
didn't
were
hear
in
it.
camp. They were in training
Oh,
camp. All the injured players. It was a training session for injured players. So a lot they were there to impress. But at least now you are seeing other players. So if he is this good, we will see his role in it. So we have 5 games. We have 5 games where Amorim now will be working with players.
mhm.
And apart from just using his formation, see, like I said, this is a test run. Like he said in one of his press conference or interviews, he's here to win games, fine. But in the process of winning games, there will be a lot of test run, because now we have the Europa League coming. Obviously, there will be some jiggle in the team because players will rest. We have other games coming on. So with those jiggles, when we play around with the formation, then we will not see who is able to break in the team. And as we always know with new coaches, players will start fighting for shirt. Because this is a new coach with a new idea, players will start fighting. We are talking about when fit players. The people, if I will have worry, I will be worried for the defenders, because these 3 defense is what suits Maguire. These 3 defense, when we talk about players the players should be scared, not be Mason Mount. It should be Maguire. Because Maguire in the middle, he just needs protection. He needs with the 4-4-2, he's not protected, he's alone. But now there's a lot of protection in both sides, like he does for England. There's protection on the left and the right, who are central defenders, and he's good with the long passes. We know Maguire, he likes that diagonal pass to the right a lot of time. And we need somebody who can do that very well. So let's removing the mistakes that Maguire make. He looks like if Delete is a bit slow and Maguire is fit, that is the push back in that team.
Yes.
And up front,
One thing that,
I will still play Holland over Rashford, but it's good that we will have the substitution
okay,
because if
okay.
Garnacho
So
underperforms,
you are
Rashford
saying
can
that,
play behind the striker.
coach. So, coach, you are saying that in your ultimate 11 for United, Rashford sits on the bench.
Yes.
The Rashford, who is feeding children in United Kingdom, you want him on the bench.
Well, we are happy that he's
Someone
feeding
who
children.
is a
The
pioneer
game
for
needs
the
people that
children
can
of
score
United
goals.
Kingdom.
The game needs people that can score
You're
goals.
not thinking about the children, coach. You're not thinking about the children. What are you
He's earning
saying?
money. His children is related to his salary. He's one of the highest paid players in the club. He should continue feeding the children. We appreciate him for that. He should feed more children. We appreciate him for that.
Okay, guys. So it was a good time. So we know. So what are you expecting from the last question before we end? What are you expecting from Ruben Amorim? Like, what are you expecting from
Stick
him
to the
in,
formation.
in, in terms of maybe his first like say 5 matches? How many points do you expect him to get?
There are some games there that it looks like, let's see, we can win. But Ipswich looked like it was supposed to be one of those games, but it did not happen. We are playing Everton next, and we are at home. First team at home with the fans, with the coach, we will get that point. I think that's a maximum 3 points there. And well, we have I think we have City or Arsenal. Arsenal December 4th. That's another game there. That is tricky. We might come out with a point, but it depends on how well we've built before that game. Because, like, I
So,
remember one of the episodes we said that every team has their wife, and Arsenal is our wife in this situation. So I don't see us losing that game. We might come out in a point, but the next 5 games, which is 15 points,
mhm.
apart from today's own, so we just said the next 5 games, we should come out with at least 9 maximum.
Okay, so just to make it clear, you have Everton, you have Arsenal, you have Nottingham Forest, and then you have Manchester City. These are your
Yes,
matches.
apart from
How many points?
I said 9 points. So we will pick up points from Everton and Nottingham. That is confirmed. We will pick up points against Man City. They are not doing well, except they produce Rodri from somewhere. Arsenal, maybe a draw. So that's 10 points.
Okay, so you are drawing the two
No, 10
matches,
out of
or you are
12. Yeah,
winning.
we've drawn one now, so 10 out of 12. Or 10 out of plus this draw is 11 out of 15.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you are at the end of the season. Where do you expect Ruben Amorim to be? Is in the fourth position, fifth, sixth, whatever? Where do you
It's
want him to be?
difficult now, but what we expect, I'm not him, I'm not the players, but what we expect is Champions League football. Fourth, which is fourth position. Worst case, Champions League.
So who are you displacing? Are you displacing Arsenal or Chelsea? These are the two teams that
Yeah,
are
you are counting
currently in
Arsenal or Chelsea. See, if Man City continues
yes.
in this pedestal, they will end up in sixth position.
Oh, why do people think that like they are not going to
No, let
come
me
back?
tell you why.
I'm surprised, you know.
Let me tell you
You
why. This is
guys,
a diversion
you
from our
guys,
game, but let me tell you why. When things like this happen to Pep, he is psychologically affected. We saw that in Barcelona. We saw that in Bayern Munich. As much as he wants to get his zeal back, he's psychologically affected. So I think that's impact. The players are playing. If you look at the game, they are playing well, but the energy that Pep has is no longer there. You don't see him. The way he
so you
is.
guys are saying he's not even getting the top four. He's going to
No,
be
I'm
there,
not.
even
We are talking about
second, third, or
displacing.
whatever.
Well, except we will displace
Eh,
you. We'll find a way to displace you. Maybe we'll win the
how?
FA Cup.
Maresca ball, like, look, do you know our fixtures
There,
from now to January?
there's FA Cup. We can win the FA Cup again and get you out of the fourth position.
Oh, this one, I wouldn't even worry myself because we are cruising at the moment in third, and we can't worry about the 14th and the 8th, and we can't worry about you guys. Yeah, you're just looking forward. That's just 1 point behind Man City. That's where we are looking now. So, Chelsea fans, if you watch till now, I don't know why you watch, but then still go and watch our video. And then United fans, he says that you guys are gunning for fourth, even after drawing Ipswich. So let's see what you're going to do. It's always a pleasure to come and serve you guys. We are going to expect your comments, and then if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And then we are going to always have a good time. See you the same time next week. Bye bye.